Can I ask what's going on with the beard? Like, you're clearly growing it out, so walk me through this.
Well, you don't really have to do anything.
But what was the decision behind it? What's the goal you're working towards? Is there an end point in mind?
You don't like the beard, do you?
I don't not like it. It's just noticeable. You can tell
It
that you're
is.
growing it out.
Well, laziness, I guess, is one thing. But then I had it in my head.
It does suck to keep a beard trimmed. I will concede that.
Usually I get past probably about a month before what it is now, and I'm like, this is too much. And then for whatever reason, maybe the winter, I just thought, I like this. I think I was like in a meeting for work, and I just had like I saw my image,
Reflection.
and I was like,
Yeah.
not bad. Keep it going, buddy.
The image on the PowerPoint presentation you were giving, where you put up a photo of yourself and showed everyone in the meeting.
Yeah. So I just got a boost of confidence a couple of weeks ago. So I was just like, let's keep it going. But and also I don't know if this experiment will work, but I wanted to when I shave it off, I wanted to go completely shaven and film it and see if Pepsi freaks out. And you know those baby videos that say they start crying when they see their dad without a beard for the first time. So I just wanted to see if that was going to work.
Do you think the dog's going to be confused?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping she is going to be.
Okay. I mean, they can smell you though. Like that's their
I
identification.
know. I know. I
right?
look. That's why it's an experiment.
Okay. Sure.
And
Sure. Sure. Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
But
I mean, that's why we're here for gender affirming care. Like being able to feel like your masculinity has been supported, and in the office, walking around with a little bit more strut in the step because of the facial hair that's growing. I'm here for you, man. Hashtag ally.
yeah, it does feel like it's a bit of a bold. Like in the office, like no one's got any facial hair. So, like the fact that
No one.
there's not much facial hair from the men
What,
or the women.
is that because of like the medical side of things, where it's like if you're doing surgery or saving lives or that kind of thing, you probably don't want like full beard everywhere.
I think it's just a lack of tea in the office. Actually, like there's
Okay.
testosterone. There's plenty of Earl Grey.
Lipton, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm kind of alpha peacocking, kind of maybe in a
Hey,
sense.
you saw an opening and you
Yeah,
pounced.
I did,
I see.
and it's honestly working. I've had 2 promotions in the last week.
Okay,
So
that's fast.
I'm the
They
CEO
call them
now.
micro promotions.
Micro P.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm here for your Slavic era. You're looking very European, Central European, and it's winter. I say do it.
Thanks. Yeah, it is. It's warm on the face. How are
Yeah.
you?
Oh, I've had better weeks, but I have succumbed for the second time to COVID this week. Picked it up, started to have a bit of a sore throat on the old, maybe like Monday, and then by Wednesday it was still hanging around and it was becoming a little bit of a cold. And I thought it was a bit unusual because I'd been sick only, some listeners might remember like 3 pods ago, like not that long ago. And I thought, oh, is it still hanging around or what's going on? And I tested, and then within like 30 seconds, there was a big fat line on that rat test. And I
Immediate.
was like, oh, well, I guess it's good that I checked. But
Yeah. Does Casey have it?
he has it now, yes. So I've turned the corner. I'm feeling better than I had been for the past couple of days. And he was on a delayed onset. So this time it was definitely me who brought it home. But I don't know where from. I could only pinpoint maybe 1 or 2 opportunities. But yeah, so comparatively, like the first time I got it in 2022, it was like mid Delta, I think. And it was, I think, unvaccinated or early vaccinated, maybe. But it really kicked the shit out of me. Like I had fevers, I had nausea, I had muscle aches. Like every limb on my body was just like, yeah, achy and sucked. And I had 2 migraines on a single day. Like it was just absolutely wrecked me. And this one, thankfully, and I don't know if it's a combination of like 3 years worth of gentler mutations, or I've had 7 vaccinations now, or whatever. But it's
Seven?
sit more, yeah, it's like sit
Jesus.
more like a decent flu, like a livable cold, but not like kill me flu.
You sound a bit
Yeah, there's still a little
gross.
bit around, but this is also probably going to be the most talking I've done in in a week. So we'll see how we go today.
Are people meant to have had 7 vaccinations?
Every 6 months, yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh,
So
jeez.
the immunity from the vaccination, as far as I know, lasts about 3 months. So you get about 3 months over here. If you're over 30, you can get a new booster every 6 months, and that also tends to change seasonally because as the new variants come through, they're updating the vax. So you're getting a more relevant vax for whatever's out there. But yeah, I'm pretty diligent with it.
I haven't had
So
one
yeah,
since 2021.
you're probably due. You're probably due.
I've had
Definitely.
it. I think I've had it twice, and both times I didn't realize until,
Yeah, I remember you saying that, which is annoying.
yeah, good genetics, high
The
testosterone. See
the
above.
the beard, yes. The beard shields a lot of like microparticles from even being
Yes,
inhaled, so it's
science.
a great defense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the vaccines don't have a huge impact on prevention in terms of whether you get it or not. That's just an exposure thing, but it definitely still drastically minimizes your chance of long-term consequences, and can also minimize side effects and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, it hasn't been so severe, but it wasn't. Yeah, wasn't that fun a week.
Well, I hope you feel better. I'm kind of hungover today, for the
Yeah,
first time in a long time. Had a big night with the boys, if you know what I
the
mean.
boys. Yeah, ever since the beard's back, you're out with the boys.
I'm a big guys guy now.
I'm a guy's guy now.
Went hunting this morning.
What did you get?
Just chicks, just
Just
just chicks, dude.
just chicks. Oh man.
Just
I mean
sweet
that's a
pretty
guy's guy.
babies. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, Eddie Cav, friend of the show, featured guest of the show, huge fan of the show. I'll just say it.
Yeah, we can put words in
He
his mouth.
he
He's in here.
he had a film come out yesterday that he conceptualized in his journalistic capacity, and Morgan. Do you know Morgan? You know Morgan.
I do,
For
yeah.
his film, they made this film called Iron Winter, and we saw the premiere at MIF yesterday, and it's a really fucking awesome film.
I'm so hyped for it.
It
I'm
it's
excited for them just like professionally. I think that's dope. I always look forward to seeing what they're coming up with. But also just like from a trailer, like the moment I saw it, I messaged you. I was like, "Holy shit, this looks unbelievable!"
it's visually
Like
spectacular.
logistically, how the fuck did they even film it? I
Yeah,
don't
it's unbelievable.
get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
What
incredible.
was the reaction like broadly beyond like
Oh,
was there a
everyone.
buzz?
Yeah, it was big buzz. No, it was sold. They've sold out every screening, including the IMAX screening this weekend for the premiere
Holy
for
shit.
Myth. So I think there's probably a lot of family and friends in the audience yesterday. But yeah, it was just speaking to everyone, everyone's just blown away. Like it's one thing to have people that you know, and I include you with that. That are working on things, like shows or film, and it's kind of when you see it up on the big screen, it's kind of materialized and presented in its like truest form, and it's kind of grand. Really, it's really powerful, and like it's a real holy shit kind of moment. When your friends kind of do that, and even when I saw your show come up on SBS on demand, like I was like, "Fuck, that's the thing. It was a real thing." So it's very proud. It felt very proud
Yeah.
of them.
That's awesome. I hope that there's a bit of a wider release so that I can get a chance to see it over here. But I know what you mean. I mean, that's the argument as well that in the wake of the streaming era and the COVID habit forming of like, oh, I can just watch that at home. There is something unmistakable about the theater environment, right? Like the larger than life spectacle. That's why they are movie stars. It's because their face is like 5 meters tall on the screen in front of you. Like you're absorbed in that thing, and there is a power to the scale of that, and the power of being in an audience with people as well. If you're in a comedy and people are laughing as a group, like that has energy that being in a living room doesn't. So I totally get it. Like, and then when you're like, I know that guy, that's my friend's name on the screen. That's sick. I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, I hung out with. I got invited by Eddie to a kind of a drinks thing the night before, thinking it was just him and Morgan and blah blah blah, and turned out it was like the crew dinner. So I was just crashing on their dinner. It's just me. And I was just like chewing their ears off with questions both nights. I probably annoyed them a lot, but it was really interesting to talk to them.
Well, I'm sure that from their perspective as well, when you are working on a film or a project that you are, by necessity, investing time, energy, money, and soul into, what you are looking for is recognition, right? And so having someone demonstrate an interest in the things that you did and the logistics and the day-to-day of it is probably quite validating. So, I wouldn't necessarily say that they were going to be unhappy with the attention, because it would make all of the... I mean, it looks like they filmed in a fucking blizzard, so I'm sure in the middle of those moments, you're questioning every choice you made. So to then get through the end of it and have positive feedback and attention is going to be validating.
And I think I did a really good job of not mentioning all the time that I too have been to Mongolia, because it was really hard. Like I wanted to, but I tried.
I've also. Oh, where'd you go in Mongolia? Because I've actually,
I just
caught the
just
train.
do it subtly. You just do it subtly, like they'll say, "Oh yeah, it got down to -30." I'm like, yeah, it's Ulaanbaatar's quite cold that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like kind of just like, oh, have you been? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because then they ask you, they ask you. You're not the narcissist if they. Ask
Yeah.
But you got to trick them into it first.
You just like sprinkle a few breadcrumbs for them to follow, and you're sitting at the end like the evil witch in the woods.
Yeah. And then immediately, if you're a real pro at manipulation, which I'm getting there, then if they pick up on that. They go, oh yeah, have you been to Mongolia? You immediately divert. Right?
Oh no,
divert.
No. This is about you guys.
Yeah. And then you do it again, and you get them that way. And then they're insisting.
Full alpha. This is the power play that comes with a beard.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Welcome to Deep Thought, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us in this. It is 5:16 p.m. on the 10th of August in New Zealand. Just thought you'd like to know. And we talk about the things that matter in the world through the lens of two people who don't. Sitting through the internet with me this week, my friend, just for a change, Michael. Hello.
What's that?
The beard makes it somehow more believable. And I'm Nick. Hello. Hi. Hey. Hoi!
I have a question that I wrote down that I wanted to ask you.
Okay. We'll go far away.
How long do you reckon you could go without telling a single lie? Say, do you reckon you could go a year without telling a single lie ever, and at the end you get $100,000?
No.
Too hard. It'd be very, very difficult.
I mean, there's the trouble with that hypothetical, I think, is that lies are not always binary. And the more that I expound on this, the more it's going to sound like I'm a sociopath. But I do think
Join me.
I do think that there are some things that you can say that are factually true that are still dishonest. Or I think there's information you can withhold from people that's not a lie, but that is still misleading. And there's a whole lot of gradient there where...
Like functionally, it'd be almost impossible. Like to function in the world.
Yeah. Could you get through a year without saying anything that you? Well, I mean, there's subjective things and there's factual things as well, right? Like if I go up and say, cats have 5 legs on average, that's not true. But is that a lie? Like, so you have to be judging based on
Really.
intent, right?
And yeah,
So there's so many nuances that I don't know how you'd actually judge whether or not you'd succeeded.
yeah, true. I don't reckon I could last a day.
Yeah, I don't think you could last a day either.
Yeah.
I think that it's a necessary part of society in a way, isn't it? Isn't lying sort of a function of often like social cohesion relies on some
Yeah.
degree of like, well, he doesn't look great in that t-shirt, or oh, I don't really like his music, or whatever. But
Wow.
you
So
I'm
pointed,
just
dude.
thinking about two things that just came to mind just while I'm looking at you. But his his beard looks stupid. Just things that just off the top of my
Hypotheticals. Yeah,
head.
yeah. Hypotheticals.
But the society doesn't need to have pure truth at all times to function, and in fact probably would start to fall apart if everyone said the true core emotional feeling about everything, because
Yeah.
that's actually not beneficial to you in the long run either. Like part of self-preservation requires some degree of like shielding your own maybe first worst inclination or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, I guess the invention of lying was kind of explored this, I guess, didn't it? Was that a good movie? I
Not
can't
very
remember.
well. It wasn't a good
His
movie.
Gervais's movies are kind of crap, aren't they?
Cemetery Junction was good. I liked that one, but that felt
Merch.
very merchanty.
Yeah.
I'd be
You,
curious to know how Merchant thinks of that project, because that was sort of right at the very end before they started to go their own ways. I wonder if it was compromised in any way. Also, one last thing. I don't think if I do something for a year, I should only get $100,000. Come on,
you want more?
that's so much more. Like that's a every moment of everyday preoccupation for a whole year, and I'm getting 100K. Sorry, nah, nah.
What about 100K and a cow?
Okay, but how big is the cow?
Medium. Medium cow. No, large. I'll
Large
give you a
cow.
large.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll
With
do
big
it.
teats. Big teats.
So I want to tell you about something that happened this week because it was ridiculous. So we are considering we're at the end of our electricity contract. We're considering changing providers just to see what else is out there. We've got solar panels. Some places pay more for export than others, so we're just looking around. So I wanted to get a quote and to understand what the rates they charged were, what they buy back any solar that we generate at, what they pay us for the money, and other little bits of like comparative things between plants. So I call up this power company, right? And the first thing that happens is they say, oh, we've got higher than usual call volume, which is the default message on every provider that you've ever called with any service these days. They're all somehow higher than normal. And frankly, if that's your default, that's not higher than normal. That is just normal, and you have understaffed your fucking company.
Yeah.
Oh, so frustrating. Anyway, I wait for like 5 minutes, and then it says, we can call you back so you don't have to stay on the line. So I press the button and do the call back. I'd called them at maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock. So I am well and truly in customer service hours, right? And then hang up the thing, the callback, has been entered, and then 90 minutes later, the phone rings again. Like so far down the track that I'm on other things and like completely forgot. I'm like, who's this like unknown number? And pick it up and they're like, hi, it's me from Meridian. I'm like, oh, right, yeah, sorry. And you have to do that thing where you like jerk your brain back into the
Yeah, yeah, the
mindset that
mode.
you're at.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so here's my deal. I've got a solar panel, I've got a battery. We're looking at moving over. I want to know your rates that you charge. Do you do peak and off peak? Do you do blah 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 blah? So then the guy's like, alrighty, I'll just get some details from you. Like, what's your name? What's your address? Blah, blah, blah. Looks it up and he says, oh, so I can see you're with Power Company X at the moment. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And it's like, oh, okay, who are you with? I'm like, Power Shop. And they're like, oh, okay. So he gets it wrong off the back. I'm like, okay, that's not a great start. And then I'm like, okay, so this is why I'm calling. Like, these are the rates that I want. And, what do you pay for the solar export? And he goes, oh, okay. I'm just gonna speak to someone about that. Can I just put you on hold? So I'm immediately put on hold again for like another 5 minutes. This is within a minute of being given the call back. So he goes off and speaks to someone, comes back, and he tells me the rate, right? The power rate for the thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. So that's one of my like 6 things on the list done. And I'm like, okay, so what's the other rate here? And he says, oh, you'll have to speak to someone at customer service about that. I
What
was
is
like,
he?
wait, what? He says, yeah, you have to speak to customer service. I'm like, sorry, who are you?
Yeah. Who have I rung?
I called customer service, put my number in for the callback, and you rang me. Are you not customer service? And he goes, no, I'm faults and emergencies.
Oh my god.
He's not even a salesperson.
Oh my
But
god.
but I have no calls, and so they put me on customer service. And I'm like, but you can't help with customers. You don't know things. Why do they put you on customer service if they haven't told you all the information you need to do the customer service job? It's like, yeah, I don't know. You'll have to speak to them tomorrow. I'm like, wait, tomorrow? He's like, yeah. They're closed now. I'm like, then why did you call me? Why did you call me at the all? And he's like, yeah, sorry, I can't help you. I'll make a note here and I'll get them to call you tomorrow when they open up the office again. I'm like, okay. And I have never heard from them again.
Oh my god.
Just the audacity to be like put onto a task that you're completely incapable of, not know the answers, and not be able to then ever, follow up on the thing. It's like, I'm trying to like join your business. Do you not want a sale?
I love that somewhere up the line, someone like a manager just went, all right, we've got no one on. Carl, can you just man the phones? Yeah, I don't know anything. Just be there. Just be.
Yeah.
It's more important that someone's there and doing something than
There's a
that something
huge
be
backlog
anything
of all
good.
these like callback calls. So just start answering them. And, maybe then someone's car will hit a power pole and you'll have something to do. But until that point, just get on the phone and make it all go away.
Yeah. You might get lucky. Maybe
You might get lucky.
they might just get tired and hang up.
Yeah. Just ridiculous. So, yeah, I've literally never heard from them again. So I guess I will just not. Anyway,
Call them out. So it was Meridian.
it was Meridian. Yeah.
Fuck you,
Yep.
Meridian.
Meridian. You're idiots. The idiots at Meridians.
Doesn't really work.
Well,
I got locked out of my bank earlier this week, and I was on
Locked out?
it was there was like a third party thing that I'm using in my bank, and I forgot the password and I locked myself out essentially.
Of the app.
No, of the whole thing. So basically,
So your card stopped
Combank
working.
just put a. Yeah, so and then I calling customer. I said I had to call customer service, but then on the phone you have to say your PIN over the automated thing before you get to speak to a person. It wouldn't even accept my PIN then. So when I finally did get onto someone, they did a security check, obviously, and they did those questions, the security questions.
Yeah.
And one of them was, she's like, yeah, so what's your favorite food? And I was like, fuck. Like, how the fuck am I meant to know when I said what my
Yeah.
favorite food was? What a
Yeah.
stupid thing. And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know, pasta? Like spaghetti? What the fuck? I guessed it right. Like,
Wow.
I think I wrote spaghetti,
Spaghetti.
which is not even a meal. It's just a type of, it's an ingredient.
What's your favorite ingredient? Yeah, it's spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's so
But
funny.
it's funny to just like try and work out how your mind was working at that time. I'm like, now 20. I set this account up in 2016.
Yeah,
What was I
having a
eating back
huge
then?
spaghetti face.
Yeah,
I'd
I was
just been to
smoking a lot
Italy.
of weed back then, so
Yeah,
it's probably got the munchies. So it
carbs,
could
yeah.
have been.
Yeah. What's something I would have eaten at 2 a.m. when really stoned? Oh, pasta.
Yeah, nachos. I don't know.
Nachos. Oh man.
Anyway,
So did it?
all's well.
What happened? Like, why did it fall apart? And did you get back in?
Yeah, no, it got fixed immediately. Yeah, it's a tripwire thing system in the combat thing. They take it very seriously, so they just went.
So what?
And because it was a third party app.
Yeah. What are you talking about? This like third party thing, like a money management thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like an investment thing. Raise.
Oh, cryptos.
Yeah, 'cause micro invests rounds up your transactions and puts it into funds.
Huh.
Yeah.
And has that been productive?
What was it? What do you mean? Like,
Are you seeing return on that investment?
it's very slow. I mean, some days it goes up, some days it goes down. I don't really care. It's more of a piggy bank kind of thing.
Okay. Interesting. And did they say like, oh, you shouldn't be using this?
No. It was my fault because I forget my passwords, as you know.
I was
And then,
going to
yeah.
say, one of the best ways to know what your answer to the security question is to use a password management app. And there are forms in all of those logins where you can like choose the question that you've been asked on the website, and you write your answer down into your saved note, and then you never have to wonder what it was you put.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said this to me a few years ago when you recovered all my accounts.
Yeah,
and
the last time that this all happened.
I just don't think it's something that's gonna happen. I agree with you, but it's just not who I am, not how I roll.
But once it's set up, you don't actually have to think about anything anymore, because it's the same. You remember like one password to get into your account, and then everything else just autofills everywhere on every browser or on your phone with a single press of the button, and you never have to think about it again.
It's more exciting
Okay.
to just sometimes not know your password though.
You like that little thrill halfway through the day of like, fuck, all of my money's gone.
Yeah, it is. Because when you get it back, dopamine hit.
Okay.
There you
So
go.
this is the ADHD artificial endorphin spike of like,
Yeah.
this is something new and exciting.
Yeah. You got to deprave yourself via fear in order to get the rush of dopamine.
Deprave yourself to save
Science.
yourself. Yeah, I get it.
Nice. There we go.
Just to circle back to the Rona, I just have an article here that's a little bit of science news. Maybe we can tick that one off.
Oh, yes.
It's that time. Time for science news.
Mikey, my boy. This is
I didn't like that.
well, you've got the alpha beard now, so I have to be more subservient. This is a article in Science Alert. One animal spreads more viruses than any other, and it's not what you'd think. Michael, what species spreads more viruses than any other?
Bats.
Okay, locking in bats,
Penguins.
locking in
Penguins?
pangolins, or penguins.
Mosquito.
Mosquito? That's a good guess.
Thank you. I don't know.
It is, of course, humans.
Humans.
A new analysis of viral genomes reveals that we humans pose far more of a threat to other animals than they do to us, passing on almost twice as many viruses to domestic and wild animals than we receive from them. Quote, understanding how and why viruses evolve to jump into different hosts across the wider tree of life may help us figure out how the new viral diseases emerge in humans and animals, explains geneticist Cedric Tan. Among the 32 viral families considered, researchers identified those that could infect human bodies. Counting the frequency of jumps between species, 64% featured a leap from humans to another animal in what's known as an anthropogenic infection. Given how humans have made their homes in such a wide variety of environments, this tendency to pass on our pathogens so widely makes sense. Our population size is huge and our global distribution is basically everywhere. This gives the viruses we host far more opportunities to successfully jump ship into a greater diversity of non-human hosts compared to viruses from other species that have much more restricted opportunities. So not only is this a serious environmental concern, because we're stressing out the life around us through habitat change or destruction, pollution, the sound of our voices, we're causing these creatures to become more susceptible to viruses, which is then a major global health issue for ourselves. So if a virus carried by humans infects a new animal species, the virus might continue to thrive even if eradicated among humans, or even evolve new adaptations before it winds up infecting humans again. So we've been witnessing back and forth viral spillback events, including in wild deer and mink back during the COVID pandemic. And it poses a massive risk to endangered species, leading to questions around the ethics of vaccinating wildlife. So that's where I wanted to get to in this article here. I'll put the info here in the chapter notes. But what do you think about the fact that we are basically like a mass weapon of incubating viruses for wildlife? And do you think we should be vaccinating the wildlife?
It makes sense that we are doing that, but we're also... No, that's a dumb thought. How would you vaccinate animals? How does that work?
Well, I'm guessing that it's some form of like either mass distribution thing where you're like, I mean, it's easier, I guess, in primates or mammals and things. I don't know how you do like bugs or whatever, but either you infect something which is then passed on either through reproduction or, you know, transmission through, you know, saliva or whatever. Or it's, I guess, the sort of replacement breeding thing that they've looked into with like mosquitoes in Africa, where you release a whole bunch of sterile male mosquitoes so that all of them die out, like that kind of thing. I'm not quite sure. It's just a hypothetical, I think.
Yeah, I think if we start doing that, like tampering with nature, even if we caused it, it might have other unintended consequences. So what are the animals that we are affecting the most?
That's an interesting question. It's not actually in this article here.
Because my understanding, which is limited, I'll say that, is that it's hard for that to cross interspecially pathogens and virus. I don't. You know what I mean? Like it's the risk of passing on a virus to another species is low.
Yeah.
Across the
I
board.
guess it depends on what the virus is and what the animal is, because in the COVID era there was a transmission of the COVID virus into gorillas, like, and other apes and things, and there was a lot of concern that like they were severely weakened as a result of that. Like if it got into something like sort of endangered creatures like that, you can easily just like lose an entire species. So
Yeah.
a lot of those questions, I guess, are more relevant in conservation contexts where you have like rangers or zookeepers or things in frequent contact with those kind of animals, and whether you're thinking about it more in terms of like a captivity circumstance versus a a pure wildlife. Maybe that's the first step.
Yeah, they would often vaccinate the animals when I worked at the zoo.
Yeah. I mean, the logistically, in terms of like, if you wanted to give vaccines to primates in the wild, there would be a whole bunch of associated logistical headaches. Not to mention the fact that it's all fairly experimental, right? Because no one's done like massive testing on whether silverback gorillas like this vaccine, at large.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden there's this big new threat on the horizon, then maybe it is like the rational thing to do is to try and protect them for their own sake.
Yeah, I wonder if you would get like people anti-vaxxers protesting that,
Leave
like,
the gorillas be. Yeah.
yeah, they should be consistent if they are. Hey, side question: what if another pandemic broke out, COVID 2.0, today? How do you reckon that would go? Do you reckon governments would be able to lock down again?
That
It'd
is
be
such
so
a big
risky.
question that I kind of want to
Yeah,
wrap
right.
up animals first and pick it up. That I just read here at the bottom of this article a link to a paper in the Lancet talking about vaccination of wildlife, and the conclusion of the abstract here is: great apes in the wild are subject to conservation efforts due to their endangered status. That said, selective vaccination of wildlife has the potential to introduce new evolutionary pressures. So the ecological context and potential wider impact requires careful attention. That's something I hadn't considered, was that the effective evolutionary impact of you coming in and giving certain apes a resistance to a viral strand.
Yeah.
Who knows what comes of that?
Yeah,
that's
that's
that's Jurassic Parky shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it to ourselves, though. I mean, we're with that logic, which I think is valid. We are also tampering with our own evolution.
100%. 100%. I mean, that's the classic sci-fi hypothetical is: at what point do we start genetically manipulating humans, in the womb or earlier?
It'll be sooner
But
rather than later.
yeah,
right?
it will be.
It's happening. It's happening somewhere already.
Someone's had a play. Someone's crisped something up.
Oh yeah. When we, and I'm assuming that this is inevitable, have a Neuralink type telekinesis situation with a chip in our brain or something. I'm assuming that's on the cards at some point. That will probably have a huge impact on our evolution if we're directly tampering with our brain.
I mean, absolutely. I'm just trying to picture. I'm unclear as to what the ostensible benefit of a brain chip is. What is it meant to enable for you? Like, am I getting maths? Am I getting like a database of information?
Well,
Am
I
I-
think I reckon it could be, mandated by governments, and it will help them, if they for passport control or something. If everyone has to get the thing in their
dystopian
brain,
side.
and yeah, and then if you instead of billboards, on the street, you're getting kind of just marketed directly into your brain.
So you're saying there is a digital analog transition where they are feeding content into the chip, which is then interpreted as signals by your brain and affecting, like your visual perception of things. Like that
Yeah.
sort of, I mean, that's not going to happen without some huge upside that gets people to put it in their brain in the first time, right? Like that's full dystopia. So there needs to be a cell. And I'm just trying to picture what the sell is to a, Joe Blow who's like, should I get the brain chip? And someone's like, oh my gosh, you haven't tasted pineapple till you've had the brain chip in, because then my sense of taste just goes off the charts, or I can see whole other colors, or I'm thinking twice as fast. I've got like so many hours in the day. My life is, subjectively feels twice as long as it was going to be before my chip. So now I'm living to the effective age of 160 or whatever. Like, what's the sell?
Well, I'm thinking of it as being mandated by the government, and the sell would probably, be something like it helps us prevent crime, or it helps us keep.
So you think that people are going to put them in the chips for a sense of community, the sense that
No, I think I'm thinking that they'll have to, like, because kind of like with the vaccinations, it'll be like you have to. Are you chipped or not?
yeah, but they only get to a point of have to in the real world, not in like a dystopian and fascistic sort of nightmare world. They only get to you have to with a really strong community-based case. Like, you have to get a driver's license because that makes our roads safer, and you're on your roads all day, and we don't want kids to be hit by cars, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You have to has a context there. You have to get a vaccination because that means that all the disabled children out there who can't be vaccinated have a better chance of avoiding measles, or preventing lifelong illnesses and disabilities. You have to.
Yeah, but it only would really take one like catastrophic world event though for that to be able to be viable.
Yeah, and
I don't know what that would be.
I'm saying that at a certain point, if we're in a civilization where everyone has a brain chip because, it makes my orgasm 7 times longer or whatever, the switch can be flipped, if there's some sort of problem, and they're like, okay, now you have to have the like location beacon on at all times for community safety. Like, there is a thing that can switch there, but I don't think that's the first step. I think the first step has to be a cell. I think there has to be a thing, and I'm not sure what the upsell is or what the goal of a brain chip. Like, what's Elon Musk trying to achieve with his dead monkey program?
I actually don't know what he's trying to do with Neuralink. And it would be appealing though, don't you think? If you could just communicate.
But what does it do? That's it? It's communication, is it? It's like
I think so.
Brain to brain communication.
It's efficient. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the point of Neuralink actually is.
Yeah,
there's got to be a point.
I'm sure that someone's got a pitch. I'm just curious what it is. Like, if it's just I can instant message someone, well, I have so many devices around me at all times anyway. Is it speed of thought? Is it data retention? Like, okay, I never forget anything again because I've got digital storage for my memories, or is it enhancing senses?
I've just put it into ChatGPT. So it says medical applications is the number one. So restoring movement for spinal injuries.
Oh, okay.
Number 2,
so I've got a part of my brain that doesn't work.
Managing neurological disorders like Parkinson's or epilepsy. Number 2 is human-machine symbiosis, long-term high bandwidth brain-to-computer link so that humans can interact with AI faster, communication and control.
That all sounds made up.
Yeah.
I can see the subverting a physiological issue in the brain by somehow developing a chip that can facilitate the electrical signals between or around one dead part of the brain so that you can walk again or whatever. That makes logical sense to me. I can see what they would be working towards that for. The to go back to your other question, what would happen if there was a pandemic now? I think absolutely fuck all. It would be such an uphill battle now.
Politically, it'd be disaster. You couldn't do it politically.
It would, the outrage. People feel like they've done it once and that's it. So I think you would. This is horrible, but I think it would have to look different. Like, I think whatever the virus is, it can't be a flu. I think it needs to be like pustules of exploding, lesions
Zombie
and
stuff.
Scabs and vomit and whatever. Right, where people look at it and they're like, "Oh, that's not a cold. I don't want the."
Yeah, they can see it up close.
I don't want the welts and the scabbing and the blood or whatever. And then I think people will be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll stay home." But I think if it was like, it's COVID-25, and this one, it's a cold, but it's ripping through people again, and so watch for, it's airborne. Wear your masks. I think. The political capital has disappeared, and I think that the problem of quite a widespread international conservative regression means that the people in power are not interested in public safety like they were at the time that COVID really
definitely.
hit.
Yeah, it's just kind of a scary thought. Like if that
It's going to
happens.
happen. It is going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
that not to, this is fairly trite and pop culture, but the one that is the premise of The Last of Us, the TV show, is the fungal pandemic. And that's the one that you do see people talk about as being, that's the scary one, because we can't do fuck all against fungus. At least with virals, we have some techniques, even if RFK is killing all the mRNA, anti-cancer vaccines that were in development and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At least there's some sort of medical knowledge about it. But if it was a fungal, then there is not much we can do.
Not very fungal.
Pepe
She just
wants to sit and have cuddles.
Yeah, fuck. I'm just imagining that in my head, and feels like it could be like a really violent time as well.
Well, yeah, and I mean there are people who would. I mean, this is all hypothetical, but there would be people in that context which would Sorry, my brain is not quite there.
They'd be chomping at the bit, kind of waiting for it.
Yeah. But there will be also some people who would be very validly concerned about the virus and would be self-isolating and would be masking and would be, trying to stay home, like work from home again. And I think a large proportion of businesses would be like, you have to come into the office. And there would be like social breakdown between those people with, like the sliding scale of people's willingness to take risks, right?
Yeah.
There would be camps where they're like, fuck it, I'll just go to work. And there'll be camps would be like, that's irrational. And I think there would be real sort of upheaval there over that kind of... I mean, even this week. So I got COVID. I tested positive on Wednesday. I said to Casey, odds are you have it as well. He hadn't tested positive yet. But you should probably not go to work, because you'll just give it to people. And so he messaged his boss and was like, yeah, my partner has COVID. I'm going to work from home. And they're like really reticent for that to happen. Like really was like, you should just come in.
Really?
And sure enough, he got it and he has it. So he stayed home and he avoided getting the office, but they really fought him on it. They really didn't want him to stay home.
Interesting. Yeah. Have you ever? You probably haven't because you're a bit nicer than I am. But have you ever done this? This has happened twice in my working career, where I've called in sick with COVID.
Yeah.
Without having it, and then actually got it, and then got shit. Like a week later, and going, oh, this is interesting.
So you just went into work and just coughed on everyone.
That
was my only choice.
Super spreader, the silent super spreader. I'm fine, guys.
Just like your nose is like leaving drips along the keyboard.
Yeah. I have welts.
You have welts, yeah. Anyway, so that was my little viral tangent there.
Is that why you had your thing has gone viral? Your name on it?
Yeah, you got it. You got the joke this week.
Wow, that's okay. That's nice.
You didn't get my one from last week until after the pod, and then you got a message the next day being like, "Oh, I just got it."
That was really
took like
good.
a full 24 hours. Yeah,
that was clever. It was a real thinker, that one. It was homeowner. For those playing at home.
Homo.
Nerd.
Winner. Homo.
Nerd.
Winner.
Homo nerd. Homo nerd would be something. Homo nerd.
Homo.
What are you doing? Weird news time. Oh, do you want to?
Yeah, give me a thingy.
Weird news. It's weird. Hey everyone, it's weird news time.
Hey Michael, I heard you have some weird news for me.
Yeah, it's weird news time. That's why I said it's weird news time.
I was just going to cut my bit in before your bit.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Hey Michael, it's weird news time.
No. Play the jingo.
In the news today from the Strange and Weird Fact File. Well, for decades, only crackpots and crazy people believed in UFOs.
Deputies
That's what I
say
thought
the
anyway.
suspect told them he's been performing sex acts on animals since the
Tonight I told about
1970s.
my close encounter with the Yeti. I told the story.
A sticky situation at an airport in Tennessee after baggage was sprayed with
Turns out that the government had been taking them seriously all along.
This is Deep Thought Weird News with Michael Zuberef Sludge.
Okay, so get a load of this, Nick, would you?
I'd love.
Have you
I'm not gonna
seen?
finish that sentence?
I would love you to, actually.
No, I don't want to.
Have you seen the movie Marriage Story from a few years ago? ScarJo, Adam Driver.
I have not.
Doesn't really matter. There's an intense scene in that movie where it's a great film.
know the
They're
meme.
arguing. Yeah, it's
I know the
part of the
meme.
meme. So get a
Yeah.
load of this. The argument scene in Marriage Story is being used by the USDA to scare off wolves and save cattle.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I
according
like this.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the sounds of ScarJo and Adam Driver screaming at each other in Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story are being used by the Department of Agriculture to frighten off wolves from killing cattle on farms throughout America. The fight between Johansson's character Nicole Barber and Driver's Charlie Barber is one of the recordings broadcast through loudspeakers on drone cowhands alongside other sounds like fireworks and gunshots. These quadcopters, I don't know what that is, also use thermal
So
cameras.
it's a drone cowhands, as in they're using drones, and so a quadcopter is a type of drone.
Oh, okay. They also use thermal cameras to detect any wolf lurking in the darkness and bathe it in a spotlight. Quote, I need wolves to respond and know that, hey, humans are bad, said a USDA district supervisor in Oregon. The practice known as wolf hazing also employs the sounds of AC/DC's Thunderstruck to save off wolves from attacking vulnerable livestock. It seems to be working. In an area of southern Oregon, where 11 cows were killed by wolves over 20 days, only 2 were killed over 85 days after wolf hazing drones were employed. This isn't the first time in the US that they've used music and sound as a form of torture. In 1999, the US Army blasted aggressive music from the likes of Van Halen and The Clash to help drive General Manuel Noriega from a makeshift bunker in the Vatican's embassy in Panama City after Bush invaded Panama.
Wow, what a leap. What a leap at the end of that article to be like, okay, so we've been training wild wolves not to predate on our stock just by sending a drone overhead with a little bit of like human chatter. And also the army blasted music to scare someone out of like a Vatican safe room.
Yeah.
What
Also-
a leap. Why did they decide that's the if you're interested in this, you might also want to know the ways we tortured people.
Also, Van Halen. I mean, I don't
Van
really. I know
Halen.
Jump.
What did I say? Yeah.
No, but like, I mean, Van Halen doesn't scream like scary. It just sounds it's like boring, cheesy to me. So maybe that's.
I think I meant to say Panama and I said Vatican because my brain heard Van Halen. Anyway.
No, it was the Vatican City in Panama City.
Oh, it was Vatican City.
Va-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, wait. The Vatican's embassy in Panama City.
Yeah, right. What a leap. Yeah. Well, that's fascinating. I wonder.
That's cool, right?
So, if they're hazing, is the idea that by playing human noises in the area, wolves, which already know that humans are dangerous,
Yeah.
think, oh, I shouldn't go and try and attack those cows because there are humans around? Is that the idea?
I guess so. It is a bit of a leap. I like to think that that someone in the USDA is just like some hipster kind of film buff guy who's trying to think outside the box. He's watching a Marriage Story and he's just like,
Yeah.
I think we
This
can
works
use
for
this.
me. I was watching Little Miss Sunshine, but it's just too upbeat.
I love
We need something that really gets to the dramatic core, shakes a person.
Yeah. Anyway, that's interesting.
Well, I wonder why humans are chosen though. Like, why not? Like, if you're blasting noises like fireworks and music, why not just blast like bear noises or something?
Yeah,
something
like the
primal.
predators. But maybe wolves don't have a predator other than humans.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's interesting. If you like more interesting things, then go back and listen to other episodes of this show. We have 260 of them now, so you can go find other stories, other chit chats back in the archive, and fill in your afternoon with something else special and funny. You can also get in contact with us if you have feedback. You can send an email to deepfort@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. You can find the comment box underneath the Spotify player and leave a little comment in there. Michael, our comment of the week, please. What do we got?
No one commented.
Okay, well,
Even after
maybe next time.
My what did you call it? The baiting of the Pedro Pascal take.
Yeah.
No one bit.
Yeah. It was probably because it was in the wrong category and it should have been that's a spicy meatball. But
Racist.
you mislabeled it. And anyway, you can just generally be a good person and maybe consider getting a COVID booster if it's been a while, Just things. Hey, Michael, how about a little bit of a rec engine just to wrap up this week's pod?
Let's Wreck-It Ralph, baby.
Grab the keys. Great movie. Genuinely good movie. I'll endorse it.
Fell out of my head. That's hilarious.
Welcome to Deep Fort's recommendation engine.
I got two movies that I want to recommend to you.
Okay, thank you for so explaining it.
All right. I saw this movie called Sentimental Value, which is a Danish film. And I think I definitely would have blabbered on about The Worst Person in the World from a few years ago. It was one of the big films for me, like one of my favorite. I just was blown away by it. Anyway, this is the director and the lead actresses in this, and I went and saw it with my mum on a whim, and it's just a fucking amazing movie. I don't want it's a lot about family dynamics, generational trauma. It's incredibly layered, incredibly well made. Skarsgård, who's the father? Skarsgård,
Alexander? Oh no, the old one.
The father.
Stellan.
Stellan Skarsgård. He plays the father in this, and he's just incredible actor. Does drunk acting like better than I've ever seen anyone do drunk acting, which is I think is a real mark. Anyway, Sentimental Value is just
was that at MIF? Or is that wide release?
No, it was a limited release, and I think it was only playing in a few theaters in Melbourne. I just happened to. I didn't think it was. I thought I had missed it when my folks were down last week, and then I actually saw a session time playing in 45 minutes that I hadn't checked. So I sprinted home from the gym, and Mum just likes to go see anything, so we went really quickly. Mum went in completely blind, and we were both just like sobbing at the end, which is a really nice experience to have with your mum. So I really a lot of my other myths, then you know what, I don't really care if you follow my recs, but this one, I think if you like films, you should see this one.
That's a good rec. You've actually set me up very nicely here.
I'm so good like that,
one of my recs. Stellan Skarsgård is in Andor, a TV show, and it finished a while ago. I've been, chipping away at it slowly and savoring it, but it is just one of the most satisfying, dramatic storytelling kind of series.
What it's about?
Andor is a Star Wars series, and I know that puts everyone off, who are not interested in that world, but Andor is a show that you can watch having not watched any Star Wars and get completely invested in it because it is about the rise of fascism. It's about the creeping governmental interventions and the particular, civil unrest that results and the ways to stop it. And it's incredibly potent. It
Is it
feels
sci-fi?
very, it's sci-fi. It's Star Wars, you know, but it's not interested in like the big hero's journey. It's not interested in the big fights. It's basically like Jason Bourne most of the time. It's one guy going around trying to like support a burgeoning resistance against fascism and seeing from the other side the instruments in the architecture of this dictatorship that are coming together and how they're being used and abused by the powers on their side as well. And it is just it's Tony Gilroy, who did a lot of great films.
Diego Luna as well.
Diego Luna is excellent in it. A great cast top to bottom, and it's about like people and politics and murky, like how much of myself do I need to give up in order to pursue this, you know, greater good, and like at what cost. And it's dark and grim and interesting and grounded, and you know, people broadly across the TV sphere have been raving about Andor, and I echo that, and I repeat that you don't have to be a Star Wars person at all to really get something from it. And that includes my dad, who is not a Star Wars person, and who absolutely devoured it and really ate it up. And Stellan Skarsgård playing this two-faced guy who's, you know, part of the elite and trying to like keep up this pretense of being a normal, you know, rich fop, and who like secretly is working underground to like bring down the government, you know, like it's just great. It's just really good TV.
Sounds like
and only 2 seasons.
Yeah. What do you think about the, like, this sounds like they're doing something that is tackling like very interesting, you know, kind of rich concepts, but is it annoying to you that also they're telling that kind of story or exploring those themes through existing IP? It's like, is there any?
I totally get the question. I think it's the reality, unfortunately,
the only
of the
way they
market
can do
these
it
days,
now.
that the only shows being made have some sort of brand attached to it. Really, in the big picture, getting that kind of money, there needs to be some sort of corporate expectation that people will show up and there'll be a return on that investment. And thankfully, Tony Gilroy somehow had the sway or the blessing or the enthusiasm from Lucasfilm to go ahead and be like, we're just going to spend shit tons of Disney money to do a very expensive, flashy looking, you know, period drama effectively about like the slow downfall of democracy. And it like what a way to do it. Like I've you know, there are other Star Wars shows out there that just do Star Warsy fantasy stuff and they're mostly shit, and there are other shows out there which are real world drama stuff and they are often boring as hell, but somehow this blend of like, it's just different enough from us that you're not like hit in the face with the like pointing finger of this is what's wrong with our world, that you can like buy into it, but it's close enough that you can be like, fuck, okay, this is relevant to today in so many unexpected ways that they've talked about after the fact. Like, we didn't expect it to be like to hit so close to the nerve.
Oh wow.
Yeah, anyway, it's just a great show.
My final rec today is Happy Gilmore 2. And that
Okay.
it's a genuine one because I grew up with the Adam Sandler films thinking they were hot shit. Obviously, it's like stupid, but I was curious about how they would approach Happy Gilmore 2, being
Which is beloved.
beloved, obviously stupid movie, but it's kind of like, you kind of frame it as like, it was kind of a product of its time, and I wanted to, I just wanted to know how he went about it, and it's not a masterpiece, but it was I think Adam Sandler did an incredible job of like just maintaining the silliness of the first movie, and it was just a really fun watch, and Lauren and I just giggled the entire way through, and there was so many cameos. I think Please Don't Destroy cameoed in it. Margaret Qualley showed up. Like some interesting cameos, and like obviously like echoing back to the first movie with.
When did you last see Happy Gilmore, like the original?
It would have been 20 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't feel like you needed to remember anything, or like it wasn't so intricately, connected to what happened.
No, I mean, I don't even know if there is narrative wise, plot wise. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same plot. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Except Adam Sandler, he just didn't. He has a beard in it, and I just thought that was an interesting choice. I just imagine that Adam Sandler just like couldn't be fucked saving off his beard. Because like if you were the studio execs on that movie, you'd be like, well, you got to be clean shaven like you were in the first one, and he just doesn't care. And I think that's part of why everyone likes him, even though everyone kind of knows he's not that funny.
Well, it was an era, right? Like he found his comfort zone, and he works in that comfort zone, right? And
sure, but
famously, like his sets and everything are just excuses for him and his friends just to hang around and
it does feel like, I mean, he is a obviously mega star, but he's like doing Grown Ups 3 or whatever. Like, does anyone really like those movies? I guess so. They're buying tickets to it. But it just feels like he's just coasted his way to extreme success. I think that's a very likable thing.
Yeah, I get it.
And he's got his daughters in it. His daughter is like practicing to be a ballet dancer in the movie, and it was like, this is just a vehicle for your daughter. I can imagine like he didn't want to do the movie, but then his daughter was like, oh, I want to be like an influencer.
Is his daughter?
Like, all right, I'll make a movie around it. Oh, good. Yeah. Sorry?
Is his daughter playing his daughter? Like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Both of them actually. Two of them, and his wife's in it.
Oh well, great. I mean,
playing
why
his
not?
wife, so
Yeah.
didn't
Easy.
really stretch the imagination too far.
No, I mean then just all the money stays in house.
Fun watch.
Oh well, that's. I did see it come out, and part of me was like, should I check it out? Like I haven't seen it in forever, but like I was curious in the same way I think that you were curious.
Yeah, I expected to turn it off after 10 minutes, and we just giggled the entire way through.
Oh, well done. How
Well done.
well done, Adam Sandler. How did you enjoy Friendship?
Oh, of course. So yeah, I wanted to call you after this. Fuck, I didn't even write it down on my phone because I wanted to call you. I have a lot of thoughts about this movie. I loved it. That's a masterpiece.
Great.
It is a very dark movie to me.
Okay.
I found it so
too real.
I don't know about it was. I get the jokes were so beautifully weird. Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd is incredible. The looks. Paul Rudd is just. We talked about this, but Paul Rudd is just. He'll be recognized. I think. After he's dead, as one of the most incredible
one of the greats.
Actors.
Yeah.
And the jokes are so fucking hitting that sweet funny bone that you and I probably. I love those movies where, it's a packed cinema, and everyone's laughing at the jokes, and then there's like little things that I'm just personally finding funny, and I'm the only one laughing in the theater, and I love those kind of movies. But there was a certain point in the movie where I was like, oh, this is like dark, and I started to view it as
It's like almost a horror movie in some ways, right? Like the thriller and the tension of the ways that this is going wrong, like are kind of haunting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, potentially I could have been reading too much into it, but that's what he's meant to do with movies anyway.
Yeah.
But I felt like this like profound like sadness about Tim Robinson's character. He's like a man that doesn't know how to express himself, communicate, and he's kind of trapped in his own kind of bravado or ideas of masculinity, and then he finally allows it to come out, and then it gets rejection, and I like the way that they explored that. I thought it was really powerful. It was about how men, interact with each other and communicate and try to, what they suppress, and it was fucking brilliant. I really loved it.
And often the ways that they are self-defeating, right? Like, there is a point in this movie where he has the win and where it looks like he could walk away with it and it'll all sort of work out, but he can't get out of his own way. He can't let the thing go. He can't. And then you've got the final sort of scene in the movie, which is crazy, and hilarious and tragic all at the same time. Like, the whole thing with with the toupee just had me rolling, where he's doing this like really sweet thing that is insane.
But even the silliness of it, maybe when you get into a certain frame of mind in a movie, you start to see it through a certain lens. But even that scene, as funny as it was, I'm like, this is powerful. I found it powerful.
100%. Yeah.
The vanity that men, the limited scope of vanity that men are allowed to have, maybe with hairline being tied to testosterone and masculinity and stuff, is kind of stripped away from him and exposed and mocked, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a really... I mean, I just want to like list off like jokes back and forth, but that's not a very interesting thing. But it is such a good comedy, such a good and touching like premise, and like Kate Mara. Kate Mara. Yeah, I was going to say Rooney Mara, but Kate Mara is really good in it. The kid's good in it. I find it crazy, but impressive that Tim Robinson didn't write it. It feels so like perfectly his vehicle, but he didn't. It was
told me
the
that
director.
before, and
yeah.
He was the director.
De Young, Andrew De Young, I think.
And it was his first feature.
Basically, he's been working in TV and doing comedies and bits and pieces, but I think his first big swing.
I think it's also incredibly encouraging that this movie even got made, because back to what we were talking about with the IP and stuff. It's like what had to happen for this movie to get made?
Yeah,
I'm imagining Paul Rudd. If Paul Rudd wasn't attached, then
I think it's Paul, and I think Paul probably
A24
basically nothing like financially for it, because he gets comedy and because he likes the script and likes the people, and it was like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, and I do think A24 are at least attempting to take some swings.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, great. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I walked out and I wanted to watch it again.
I'm gonna go see it again.
Eating soap. My God, the cringiest moment. Anyway, I have one last rec. Did you have something else on your list?
No. Flat out.
I will throw this out, which is The Bear. It's wrapped up the 4th season now. There's a bit of a narrative out there that it went off the boil a little bit, or that they stretched out a few things, and I do tend to agree with it, that there was some storylines that really should have all been wrapped up in one season. But I just wanted to put back out there that I still think The Bear is a fucking great show, and the performances of the core cast, the setting of the restaurant, the drama involved with all of it is still just top tier fucking TV. And even if it takes a while for certain plot lines, or you have to suspend disbelief, I dislike the narrative such as it exists out there, that the show is shit or is bad or, gone off. And I just wanted to put out there again that I really like The Bear, and that it's good, and that I think people should watch it.
Is Jeremy Allen White a hot guy?
Not for me.
Okay.
There was a bit of that. What was it a couple of years ago? Rat Boy Summer. There was a bit of a resurgence of that sort of.
Was he part of that Rat Pack?
He was in the Rat Pack.
Who else is in that?
I mean, there was a list. I mean,
Timothy
do we need
Chalamet?
to Google? Probably 100%. Rat Boy Summer has definitely got some Chalamet vibes. It's basically
probably got a bookmark to it.
It's I've just going to scarymummy.com. Rodent boyfriends, Gen Z, and the impending hot rat boy summer. So it includes Timothy Chalamet, Jeremy Allen White, Adam Driver, Barry Keoghan. How does he say it? Keoghan?
No one knows.
Kieran Culkin.
What? No.
Just,
No one
I
thinks
think
Kieran's
they're
hot.
basically just pointing to a nose. I think
Shots fired.
they're just saying it's pointy nose summer. So you should be happy.
Here we go.
You should be
Go on.
happy for other people having their time in the spotlight instead of just your boy, George Clooney's or, all these big names that you think are, the be all end all. Let's let some other people have a crack. Hey?
I thought you were saying because I got pointy nose. I got rising tide lifts all ships or something.
Was I going to say that and then pivoted away from it because it sounded
Someone
a
had
little
to
bit
say it. Oh.
trite? Possibly. But am I happy with how I got away with it? Yes, I am.
Manipulation. Well done, sir. Well done.